What's up, y'all? My name is JR, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a huge movie and TV nerd. If you're new here, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel. I hope you'll consider sticking around and joining the film community I'm trying to build here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving my reaction and review of the Apple original film, Napoleon. This video will contain some mild spoilers, but the way I see it, this movie should have been spoiled for you back in high school when you took world history. Nevertheless, if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to know anything that happens in it, you might want to exit this video now. And with that being said, no more wasting time. Let's get into it. So, Napoleon is an epic historical drama film directed and produced by Ridley Scott, and it was written by David Scarpa. Based on a true story of Napoleon Bonaparte, primarily depicting the French leader's rise to power explicitly through the lens of his relationship with Empress Josephine. The film stars Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon and Vanessa Kirby as Josephine. The film premiered at Salle Pleyel in Paris on November 14th of this year and was released in the United States and United Kingdom on November 22nd by Columbia Pictures and Apple Original Films through Sony Pictures Releasing. The film will be made available for streaming on Apple TV at a later date, and it's received generally positive reviews from critics with praise for battle sequences and performances, though some noted its historical inaccuracies. Now, at the time of the making of this video, the movie has a mediocre 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's based on 202 critic reviews, with a comparable audience score of 59% based on over 500 verified ratings. It has a Metascore of 64 based on 56 critic reviews on Metacritic, with a dismal user score of 4.3 based on only 98 user ratings, but still. And it has a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb, and that's based on over 16,000 reviews. So, a little admission here, history is my second major when I was in college. And I especially liked reading about and studying the wars that were waged around the world throughout history. So I'll admit this movie was one I was excited to see. I liked the opening image and the fact that it was in slow motion with several cuts to black I found to be fairly artistic. The scene itself was a pretty long one considering it was followed by a cut to black and the title screen. Now, from there, we jumped right into battle, and, Ridley Scott did a fantastic job with the set pieces, I have to say. Now, after that is where the film starts to fall apart a bit for me. The rest of the first act was kind of a blur, with the film skipping from scene to scene in a manner that feels a bit disorienting, even though this kind of thing is frequently done in epic historical dramas. Now, David Scarpa decided to portray Napoleon as kind of a petulant man-child when he wasn't on horseback leading troops into battle. And I have to say, it got old really quick. Now, Ridley Scott told Variety that once he cast Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon, that the script was rewritten in an effort to make the actor more comfortable. Now, we all know that Joaquin Phoenix can be, well, let's say unconventional when it comes to his craft. And, Scott said that rewriting the film to suit Joaquin made the film bigger and better. But in this particular case, at least at this particular time, I'm not sure if the rewrites worked in the film's favor or not. Now, given my pronounced interest and in my intermediate knowledge of the subject matter at hand, I do understand that Joaquin Phoenix is too old to have played Napoleon at the beginning of this film. But I think I do understand why he was chosen, because he absolutely looked the part in all other aspects. I did think it was weird that he didn't even try to speak with an accent. Now, I want to be clear, I didn't expect him to speak French, and I certainly would not have been up for an almost 3-hour-long subtitled movie. But typically in a film like this, even if the characters are speaking in English, they tend to at least make the English they're speaking sound fancy. I found the fact that Joaquin opted not to do that at all to be a bit distracting. I also know that there were a few historical inaccuracies in the film, but there always are in these cases, so I'm not prepared to make a big deal out of something like that. What I really like about movies like this is that they tend to offer some context, whether completely accurate or not. as to the things that may have facilitated the history we've come to know. I wanted to see this movie not to rehash what Napoleon had done as a military commander, because I already know what he did. What I was interested in was why he did them. Scott gave a quote in his Variety interview where he said, "Napoleon came out of nowhere to rule everything, but all the while he was waging a romantic war with his adulterous wife Josephine. He conquered the world to try to win her love, and when he couldn't, he conquered it to destroy her, and destroyed himself in the process." Now, if you ask me, that's why you buy the ticket and sit through an almost 3-hour historical drama. It's to get a sense of who Napoleon was instead of what he was. Now, having said that, overall, I give the film a 60%, or a 6.0 if you're thinking IMDb score. And that may be being a bit kind, due to my love of history and historical warfare. In my opinion, though, if you're a history person, this movie is definitely a must-see. For me, seeing the major battles that Napoleon fought in on the big screen was truly a visual treat, though most of them were over quickly in comparison to other historical epics that I've seen over the past several years. Now, again, Ridley Scott did a great job with the set pieces. But again, everything else, to me, fell a little flat. The acting was really good, but I expected that. But, again, I didn't necessarily love the way Napoleon was written. And I know we had to cover the better part of 25 years or so in this movie, but the script just didn't feel fluid enough to provide a smooth viewing experience. I also hear that Ridley Scott may be releasing a 4-hour-long director's cut of the film on Apple TV in the future. I have to admit to you that I will watch that version as well. Maybe it'll be a better watch. But what do you guys think? Have you seen Napoleon yet? If you have, did you enjoy the film? Let me know in the comments. And for those of you who might be new to the channel, be sure to like and share this video. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. Also, be sure to go check out themadScreenwriter.com for more television and film reviews and info on my upcoming film projects. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got screenplays to write. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.